Welcome to the Black Mirror Podcast.
Join host Ho-Ho as he discusses the riveting Netflix original series,
Black Mirror. Now, here he is, Ho-Ho-Ho.
From the Cottage Studio, welcome to Black Mirror Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Ho-Ho. How y'all's doing? I hope you're doing good. I really do. Today, we are revisiting Episode 4 from Season 3, entitled San Junipero. And as always, spoiler alert, we are going to be talking about the episode. And just like last time, I did rewatch the episode. However, I did not re-listen to what I had previously talked about. I wanted to give this a fresh perspective. Now, unlike the first time watching this, when I knew what to expect, I knew what was going on. I didn't have to sit there and, try to figure it out, which, I know last time I had a hard time doing that. This time I was kind of focused a little bit more on some of the Easter eggs, the hints that maybe would have told me earlier what was going on. And, kind of some of the nuances maybe. That's kind of what I was looking for more this time. Now, again, I liked this episode. I really did. The things that it explore with the psyche and whatnot are very intriguing to me, very much so, And there's another reason that I wanted to watch this episode, and it's because it's a theme that just, it continues to rear its head in several different episodes. And I know I've already linked, this one with several other ones, Black Museum included. But it's a concept that comes around a lot. It comes back. It's talked about in different forms and different styles. It comes back. Now, what's awesome about this one is, you have this huge, it's more or less it's kind of like the Matrix, I guess, but there's no physical body that people have to have in order to be in here, because what they do is they will take your consciousness and put it into the Matrix, this city, this, greater city, not just the city boundaries, but the city. And I've also kind of wondered how big this is. If this is something that is, a little bit more like the Matrix, as in it encompasses the whole world, or if it's just more or less one city, the surrounding areas, maybe the entire state, maybe the whole country. I don't know. They only talk about one city. But another thing that's very intriguing about this is that you're not locked in any one particular time. That you are, you have the option of what time you want to be in, because it's not just about, what location you were at. You come to find out through, the episode itself that there's different times that you can be there in, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, what have you, several different decades. And it was actually really neat and intriguing, how they did it. Some of the things that you've seen with the change of dress, the different video games, how the TVs were, there was a lot of different things in there that was, very neat and reminiscent of the time. I thought it was very interesting. But this one, it definitely kept you guessing as to what was going on, and the main theme with this was really brought upon by one of the main characters. And it was very much an outlook from two different people. Okay. You had one person whom would be the main basis of the storyline. Okay. And you had one perspective, a perspective from somebody whom, in a matter of speaking, never had the chance to live because of circumstances that happened in their life. And you had the perspective from somebody else whom, by all intents and purposes, by anyone's account, led a full life, whom was just using San Junipero as a place to have fun before they die and they go into the sweet by and by. And you very much had two different outlooks on this. Now, surprisingly enough, they don't really talk about religion into it. It's just, or at least if they do, they kind of skim over it. And it's something that you kind of get the hint or the idea that, yes, religion had a part to play in the person whom was just using it as a playground until they go into the sweet by and by. You kind of get the idea that there was a religious reason, a spiritual reason as to her making the decision that she was making. But with the other one, the one whom never really had an opportunity to live, their perspective was very different. Okay. Now with person one, she, and this is all things that you find out through the course of the show, when she was young, in her 20-something, she got into a car accident, quadriplegic, basically, yes, she was alive, but she quadriplegic, she was bedridden. She couldn't communicate with people. She didn't have an opportunity to live. So for her, San Junipero represented an escape from her body where she can be up, she can be active, she can move around, she can interact with the world around her. And to her, it was absolutely amazing because she never had the opportunity to really live a fulfilling life. There was things that she never had the opportunity to do. Not only that, she kind of lived a sheltered life before this accident, and she hadn't gotten to the point of really exploring anything. And that was part of what her problem was. Very, I guess you could say, inexperienced in life. And then the other person in this, the other main character, with her, it was very different. She lived a full life. She was just at the final stages of her life due to cancer. And she was, just using this as a playground to have fun before she ended up passing away because she was dying from cancer. I forget what kind. I don't remember. But with her, she was married. Her husband passed away, I think she said like 2 years prior to, the happenings of the show. Towards the end of it, you find out that they had a child that died whenever I think she was in her 30-somethings, that, her and her husband was married for like 49 years, I believe. And it was a relationship, a love of sacrifice and dedication, and, something that, she was waiting to basically, they said without saying, to reunite on the other side. And he chose not to go into San Junipero because with what he believed, that would be robbing him from an experience he believed he would have. Yeah. I do several different types of shows. Religion, politics. And I really do try my hardest to, keep the main thing. Now they don't flat out talk about what religion, their faith. This is just kind of what they just glance over, say without saying. Okay. So, I'm not intentionally being vague. They were being vague, and I'm mimicking that. Just trying to put a little bit finer of a point on that, I guess you can say. I'm not being vague on purpose. They really didn't talk about it. You kind of, had to read between the lines a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's what you were able to pick up from what they were saying, is that she was, this was a playtime for her, and she wanted to have that other side experience. And, they really did start to connect. You come to find out from the first gal that, she was going to be, she's doing this trial run to see if it was something that she wanted to do. And they give you like 5 hours per week to live in this simulated world in San Junipero. That's all they give you, 5 hours a week. That's it. They limit, restrict, and they definitely, do that to you. And she was about to get married. She was getting married to a guy who was, who worked at the hospital or care place that she was at. And he was doing this out of a kindness for her, because she, being in the position that she was in, she wanted to live in San Junipero and just make that transition. But her family refused to let her do this. Again, this is a difference of, a difference of lives, a difference of perspective, because they don't see the big deal about not being able to experience life, as to where with her being a quadriplegic, being not able to really communicate with people and experience life, they didn't get it. And to me, it was kind of surprising that she waited so long before going to being a visitor of San Junipero. Now, I don't know if, this is something that is restricted by age or what. That would kind of seem weird to me, but, it kind of seems like San Junipero is more of a retirement home, I guess, if you will. I don't know. But it's weird somebody in her position not wanting to spend, as much time in San Junipero as absolutely possible. And in fact, it's kind of weird to me also that they would, put so much restrictions on somebody in her type of situation and not let them just basically, okay, you take care of my body. I'll live here and we'll just call it good, but that's not apparently how they did things, kind of seemed a little weird to me. But you very much had a scenario where they explored two different outlooks on life and experiencing life. Somebody whom looked at it from a worldly standpoint, that wanted to experience the world and everything that they had, everything that was there. And one of the things about this place was it was definitely an instant gratification type of a mindset. And you had somebody else whom may have been living the instant gratification mindset, no attachments, no nothing, and this is the person whom was just using it as a playtime for her to go into the sweet by and by. She's the one that seemed to have a more, YOLO type of a mindset in San Junipero, which was kind of backwards for me, but whatever, it is what it is. But you had one person whom wanted to experience life and one who just wanted to have some fun. Now, in a matter of speaking, I very much expected at the end of the story that, the one lady that was just using it as her playtime, that she would move into the beyond, but that's not what ended up happening. Instead, she decided to go ahead and get uploaded into San Junipero and live however much they wanted to live in San Junipero in the form of a younger body, yada, yada, blah, blah. It was a neat way that they ended up doing it. I mean, it really was. It really was actually pretty neat how they ended up doing it. But, it's kind of one of the things that, well, I guess I can't really say that. I was going to say that I expected her to just move on, but at the same time, I mean, she was having the blast, the time of her life, and San Junipero, why would she want to give that up? She finally found something that to her meant something. And of course, why not? And that's an aspect that I didn't mention before, and I just glanced over it just a minute ago, that you're not stuck in San Junipero forever. Okay. Much in the same way that they put you in, they can take you back out again. Something that I don't even think I mentioned in the last time I ran through this, because it wasn't really anything that they dwelled upon, but it is definitely something that I picked up on this time around. Okay. So you get into San Junipero, you want to live however long you want to live. And in time, maybe you decide that, okay, I've done everything I could do. I've lived this thing. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to pass on. I'm ready to, do whatever. I've had enough of San Junipero. I want to get out. You've experienced everything you can experience. You've experienced the different times they had to offer. You've met everybody that in your mind you could possibly meet. It's time, Now, there's another aspect of this that I didn't really think of before either, and that is, okay, whenever they're at the bar, there's a bartender. And this time I very much wondered, is this bartender somebody whom is in San Junipero? Like they have a job in San Junipero as, to have a better quality of life inside the matrix, so to speak? Or is this somebody whom is basically a program that is fulfilling a job or job duty? It really did make me wonder what the heck was going on with that one. Is somebody there actually having a job, like they didn't retire per se to San Junipero. Now they got to go to San Junipero, live their best life in their best self, but now they got to have a job while doing it. That just seems kind of weird to me. But it's like, who in their right mind would I want to, in retirement, in a computer simulated program, I want to have this job. I want to be the bartender. Who would nominate themselves for that? It's definitely something that made me wonder and question what the heck was going on. And I still question about that. They don't answer that question. That was just a my brain type of a question. That's all that was. It's like, I wonder how they did that. Is this like there's a name for it in video games, not non-combatant, but I don't remember what the name is. If you guys remember, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to know what that term is. I just don't remember right now. But yeah, San Junipero, it covers a lot of different things, a lot of different outlooks on life and, the other side type of a thing. And, people's unwillingness to go, people really want to be immortal, something that is talked about a lot in different movies, in different episodes of San Junipero. It's talked about a lot, it really is. So what did you guys think of San Junipero? I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I like how they explored it. I like, how they did it, the relationship wise, having two very contrasting outlooks as to what San Junipero is and what San Junipero can be. I like how they did that. They really did explore it from multiple standpoints, multiple beliefs. I thought it was pretty stinking cool. I really did. But let me know what you thought down in the description. If you are not on the YouTube or Spreaker, then send me an email, hoho@thehohoshow.com. Or, of course, you can head on over to thehohoshow.com and just put something in the contact me section. And I'll get those, and I'll, we can have a conversation on it. So that is all I got today. Y'all have yourself a good one. Until next time. Thank you for listening to the Black Mirror Podcast. If you would like to join the conversation, you can comment on this episode at Spreaker.com or go to thehohoshow.com /forum in the discussion board for this season.